Welcome back to another episode on Journey to Authenticity, a podcast designed to help you become your authentic self, create a clear vision for life, and ultimately step into a life of transformation. I'm your host, Braden Belknap. I'm a transformational life coach, speaker, and entrepreneur, dedicated to helping you break through your limitations so that you can ultimately become your authentic self, create that clear vision for life, and make it happen. But what if success feels out of reach? What if becoming your authentic self feels so out of reach? You don't even know where to start, that you almost feel like going the traditional path in life is the right answer for you. But me and you both know that's not the case. That's exactly why we're having Sean Whalen joining us today. He's the visionary and founder of Lions Not Sheep and created massive success even before then. But today he lives a lifestyle that everybody dreams of. He put his business into his life over building his life around his business. And in turn, he gets to enjoy time with his grandkids, his kids, and he gets to live a life on purpose. Today, he's going to show you exactly how to do the same. That in mind, welcome to the show, Sean.
Thanks for having me, man.
Absolutely. So just to jump right into things, what initially inspired you to start Lions Not Sheep?
I went through a really dark period of my life. I went through a divorce and a bankruptcy, and I had built a very successful company and made a ton of money, and kind of found myself at my early 30s, kind of saying, is this it? Like, I have all the things that I'm supposed to have. I'm successful, but I wasn't very happy. And I ended up, for lack of better words, burning my entire world to the ground, left my multi-million-dollar company that I started. My wife and I just emotionally went separate ways. And in that process, I found a lot of darkness. And one day I was literally just flipping through a magazine and it popped into my brain, Lions Not Sheep. And it didn't have any meaning. I didn't see it anywhere. It just came into my brain and it wouldn't leave. And it just bounced around and bounced around. And I ended up writing it on my bathroom mirror. And it became my own personal mantra. It wasn't a t-shirt company. It wasn't a coaching company. It didn't exist other than on my bathroom mirror. And it's something that I repeated to myself countless times throughout the day. Like, am I being a lion or am I being a sheep? I mean, very simple creatures, right? One follows, one leads. One does whatever he wants. One does what he's told, kind of a deal. It started to grow, and I ended up making a t-shirt, and then people saw it and wanted it. And it's just kind of this evolution of a way of being, of a thought process, of a lifestyle. And here we are 10 years later, and it's grown to a global movement, and millions and millions and millions of people have seen it and know about it. And it's, it all started from something on my bathroom mirror.
Absolutely. It is a movement. But you can't say it better than that, right? Because you wear the clothing like I'm wearing now. When you put it on, it changes your feelings. It changes your day.
Yeah.
I mean, people really think that they can just dress and go about their day. No, what you wear matters.
Right.
When you're wearing something like Lions Not Sheep, which you created, it's like, today it's time to be a lion. I'm not a follower anymore. I'm leading my destiny.
100%.
So, I mean, you say that, with so much confidence. I'm sure there was so much more pain when you first initially wrote the Lions Not Sheep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Can you take us further into your thought process, your emotions when you were writing that on your mirror for the first time?
Yeah, I mean, I lived most of my life as a sheep. Like I said, I was very successful financially, raised by a single mom. And so I had this idea of what success looked like. And so I kind of followed that path. And when I had it and got it, it was like, well, why aren't I happy? And there was a lot of darkness in that. There's a lot of experience that I had in trying to figure out who I was and what I was. And was I this business guy or this dad or this father, or husband or whatever else? And I'd never gone on my own journey to figure out who the hell I really was, who I am. And that was, this beautiful experience in this company was born out of darkness. It was born in a very dark period of my life. And I think a lot of things are that way. I think a lot of people find Jesus, when they're sitting in a jail cell, or, and they hit rock bottom, or they overdose or something like that. And I think those, as the good book says, with the eyes to see and the ears to hear, are ready for whatever the message is. And I happen to be ready for this message and to be able to give birth, if you will, to something that has been so powerful and so life-changing from a place of darkness has been really cool.
Absolutely. When did you decide to go all in on this?
So I made a t-shirt back in 2016, and I just made it for myself. There was no apparel company. I mean, I didn't even own the domain Lions Not Sheep. I just had this vision of putting these 3 words on a shirt, and I called my friend who owned a screen printing company and said, "Hey man, can you make me a shirt?" And he said, "Sure, go to fonts.com and pick out your font and tell me what you want." And I paid for the screen, and he made the shirt, and I had one shirt. And I was wearing that shirt, and I posted a picture one day on Facebook, and somebody saw it, said, "Hey man, that's a cool shirt. Where do I get one?" So I called my friend back. I'm like, "Hey, somebody wants to buy a shirt. Like, I don't know how to sell shirts. Like, how do you sell a shirt?" So literally for quite a while, you used to have to go to his old website, and there was a little teeny button that said Lion on it, and you'd go there and it would have the original OG shirt. And that's how it was for years. I mean, I had one little heat press that we would just go buy a couple of t-shirts and make them, and people would buy them. We'd sell 5, 6, 7 of them a month. And then in 2020, during the COVID era, I decided to really turn it on. And so I started hiring people and hiring marketers, and we built a company. And, we went from 5, 8, 10, 12 shirts a month, maybe a few $100s to within 6 months, we were doing $1 million a month in sales of the apparel. So it took off really, really fast and really big.
Absolutely. At that moment when you started to grow, were you still dealing with some of those inner demons, or do you feel like at that moment you fully transformed yourself?
I think we're always dealing with demons. I mean, I still deal with demons. I'm 46 years old and I still have shit, I mean, I don't think you ever reach a pinnacle. I think this is kind of a misconception in the healing space and just in the world in general, that somehow just because this guy's got a Lamborghini or this guy's got a big house or this guy's got a hot wife or whatever, that you figured it all out. I don't think anybody ever figures it out. I don't think there's ever a moment where you don't have some level of darkness or fear or, trepidation or whatever else. I mean, I have built a great life for myself, and I still deal with that. And I'm pretty certain that I will until the day that I die.
Absolutely. I mean, you said that. It's this coaching world, man. It's like, hey, you get to this person and that's it.
Right.
But in reality, God didn't create it that way. There's always more things to learn. There's always more challenges to overcome. There's always something else. And if you feel like you're at the end, that probably means you're at the end and pretty close to go 6 feet under, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I love it. So ultimately, during that COVID time, that was a very unique time for you, especially when they started to legalities. I remember they were suing you or something like that for the China stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a fun time.
I know obviously that helped the business in the grand scheme of things, but how did you overcome that and move so quickly to fall in line with what they were asking for in quotations?
Well, yeah, I mean, the truth, I told the truth. I mean, that's the interesting thing is, and the quick backstory on that, when I started the company, I was the whole world was watching me build this company from scratch. Like, I'm very transparent on social media. I share a lot of stuff. They watched me go from, 1 heat press to 2 to 7 to then ordering, and people got to watch this. And I did a video actually in 2020 where I talked about our process and how we bought these tearaway tags and we brought them into the warehouse and we pressed them and then we packaged them up and sent them, and showing people literally how we did the process. And it was in 2023 when the FTC had changed their guidelines on what Made in America was. And the old rules were that as long as you had 3 points of commerce or 3 aspects of commerce on domestic soil, so in the U.S., you could label it or put, whatever you wanted on there as made in the U.S. So we would buy these t-shirts. We were doing the same thing that hundreds of other companies were doing. We just happened to have a bigger target because we were very much a conservative company. We didn't have a problem saying, we sold a shirt that said FJB while Joe Biden was in office. So they didn't really like us. It's not like, you know what I mean? We didn't have a big target on our back. And we've sold almost 1 million garments, and it was a teeny fraction, less than 0.5% of what we had actually sold was out of compliance. And so they changed the rules. And for about 90 days, we were out of compliance. We got a letter. from them saying, hey, we think that you're out of compliance. Show us your processes. We said, great, not a problem. Here's who we are and what we do. And we sent them samples and told them the whole thing. And they ended up coming after us and saying that we were, everybody's read the headlines. They said that we were misleading everybody, this and the other. And what makes it really funny is that video's still up on our Instagram page from 2020, when I literally told the entire world we buy imported shirts, we put our own stuff on it, we send it out. And I think the thing that makes it the funniest is how they issued all these press releases about me and us, and they actually said the exact opposite of what I said in the video. So I was mad. I was like, I'm going to sue him for slander and defamation. And my lawyers were like, you're going to spend millions of dollars. You're fighting the government. You can't beat the government. So it was a hard lesson for us. But, I was transparent with people. I said, look, here's the video. We've told you what we're doing. There's literally hundreds of other companies doing the same thing. But it naturally, there's a lot more people that want to see you fall than want to see you rise. And we were rising big, and we were building big, and we were making, millions of dollars and selling millions of dollars worth of apparel. And so it was a good lesson for me. But I think the thing that made it as powerful as it was is I didn't hide from it. I didn't try and skate around it. I mean, I took it head on. I said, no, here's the video that we did. They changed the rules. I own the fact that I did not pay attention to the FTC's website every day. I didn't know about the rule change. The second that we knew that the rules were changed, we went right into compliance with what the rules were. And I think that's what makes it, that's what makes anything powerful is truth. When you tell the truth, you don't have anything to worry about. So it was a kind of a crappy time, and it cost a bunch of money. But at the end of the day, like you said, you can weather these storms when you tell the truth.
That's the truth. It's such a liberating feeling, Sean, when you don't have to have any demons in your closet.
Yeah. You don't have to hide and lie. And that's why that video that I did, it wasn't after the FTC came. It was just long before, because that's what made it kind of comical, is they made me sound like this dude who was like scamming the world, when in reality, if you go back to 2020 and look at the video, I literally told the entire world, we buy imported t-shirts, we print our shit on it, and then we send it to you. And people still got mad. But I mean, people will be mad about it. I could cure cancer and people still be mad at how I did it. So I don't really worry about that crap.
Absolutely. You got a taste of politics. I mean, obviously that was like real, lies put out in the world. And
it was very dark. I mean, it was the headlines that they put out, and the media just got worse and worse and worse. And how we were employing kids in sweat lodge or sweat shops in China and shit like that. Ironically enough, we actually didn't buy any of our shirts from China. We actually got them from Next Level, which was primarily in Honduras. But it's funny because the whole thing was China, 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 China. And I'm like, have we ever bought any shirts that actually had neck labels of China? And we couldn't find any of them out of almost 1 million garments. So it's like, it is what it is. Sometimes that's par for the course, man. That's how it works. I mean, you look at guys who are building big dreams and big visions. I mean, you look at like the Paul brothers. I love the Paul brothers because they're just risk takers. They've built their own destiny. They built their own world. And no matter what they do, people are still going to shit on them. Like, it doesn't matter what they do. They just want to hate them to hate them. And it's the same thing with me or you or anybody. There's just people in life that want to hate you just to hate you. Not because you've screwed them or wronged them or anything. They just want to hate you.
Yeah, well, if you're for everybody, you're for nobody.
Exactly.
And you have to embrace that hate.
Yeah.
Because that really ultimately means that you're on the right track.
100%.
If life is easy, you're going down the slamest path with green lights and red lights, and it's just an easy road, you're on the wrong path. Period. End of story.
Yep.
If there's not cracks and it's not an easy path, that probably means that you're on the right path or getting close to it.
Totally agree.
I will say so, Sean. There's only one shirt that's ever offended me that you made, and I say that as a joke. And it's the no beard, no booty shirt. Because
the bearded guys don't like, or the non-bearded guys don't like that one.
I'll get there someday. Maybe my wife will appreciate me more.
Dig it.
Yeah, it's what's very prominent as we talk, Sean, and I've obviously recognized this over time, is that when a challenge arises, you immediately take action. I often say that the quicker you can make decisions is equivalent to the success that you're going to accomplish in the world. So in the times, whether it's the federal government or a life situation, how do you consistently stay aware and make decisions effectively and execute the way that you do?
I'm not afraid to lose. I'm not afraid to look dumb. I'm not afraid to be embarrassed or humiliated. I'm way more afraid of not taking action. I'm way more afraid of my own inability to sleep at night because I'm not taking action than I am any critic, any troll, anywhere. So for me, it's kind of become easy because I don't fear falling down. I know that the greats have all fallen down. I don't fear saying the wrong thing or offending somebody because I realize, like, if I'm manipulating my words to try and make somebody else happy, then I'm not going to be happy. So I think it comes through like real radical transparency and honesty and vulnerability. I mean, these are all key words people talk about. But when you get to a place where you don't really care what people have to say about you because you're true to yourself, it's very freeing. It's very liberating.
Do you feel like you were raised with that belief pattern, or did you have to acquire that over time?
No, it came through my own work. I mean, I was raised by, a father who, you were never good enough. Like, I'd go 4 for 5 in a baseball game and he'd be like, well, why'd you swing at that one pitch when you struck out? And I'm like, I went 4 for 5. Those are Cooperstown numbers. If I was a pro baseball player, I'd be in the Hall of Fame. Like, what the fuck, right? And so I was not raised with that mentality, but I had to forge it and build it myself. And really it came from understanding that, like, no one's going to do it for me, but I hated not telling the truth. I hated being somebody different than what I really was. I hated trying to put on a mask and pretend that I was this guy or this guy or this guy. So I was like, fuck it, I'm just going to be me. I'm just going to say me and do me. And there comes a lot of blowback with that. Don't get me wrong. I mean, it's not like everybody's on board and, yeah, you're the best ever. I mean, I have literally thousands of trolls online every day that are talking shit about me. They micromanage every post that I put up. There's threads all over the internet that are like, screw Sean Whalen, that make fun of me and the whole thing. So there's definitely the flip side to that. However, I'm the one living my life. I'm the one in here every day. I'm the one looking at myself in the mirror every day. Not any of these people, not any of these threads, not any of these trolls. And so for me, I'm focused way more on my own mental health and my own well-being than I am what other people are saying or thinking about me.
Absolutely. You were raised with a not good enough mentality.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I became good enough for me.
That's the way to go. Now, with that, right, I'm sure that affected you as a child, as a teenager.
Yeah.
I'm wrong. I'm not you. But when was the moment where you said, enough's enough? Like, I'm going to be me authentically. I'm going to speak the truth and I'm going to live my truth.
Yeah, I don't know that there's been a moment. It's been an ongoing thing. After my divorce, years and years and years ago, I had a really dark night where I contemplated ending my own life. And I woke up the next morning and I realized, like, I didn't understand a lot of the things. I wasn't like reaching out to people to help me make money or whatever. I just realized that I didn't want to be angry anymore. And I was angry at my dad and I was angry at the market, or I was angry at him. And so I went on this journey to really, like, not be angry and figure out how to be happy. And so I found that the shit that I wanted to do, the things that I wanted to say, was what was making me the most happy. And so it was this ongoing thing that I just kept doing it and doing it. And it was like I got happier and happier. And I was like, well, if this is the ticket for me to be happy, is to just speak my truth and to live my truth, then I'm just going to keep doing it. And that's why people say today, how are you so good on videos, or you can stand up in front of 5,000 people and speak and whatever. It's like, because I've continued to do it and do it and do it and do it. And every time you do it, you get stronger.
The repetitions definitely make a difference.
Yeah.
Without it, you're never going to ultimately be authentic, because you're going to chase something. It's going to get uncomfortable.
Right.
Like that.
Right.
Persistence, that determination, and getting those reps in that allow you to be confident.
100%.
A lot of people think that they just will feel confident one day. When I accomplish this, then I'll be confident. Now, your confidence is built day by day.
Right.
You keep your promise to yourself.
Yep. 100%.
Absolutely. Now, we talk about the moment when you contemplated suicide, right? What stopped you?
God. He had a bigger plan for me.
Yeah, if you got air in your lungs, he's not done with you yet.
Simple as that. I could give you some long, profound answer, but it was God. He had a bigger plan.
Was it just like a vision? Was there a word that came to mind? How did he present himself in that moment to you?
I went to bed and I woke up. And when I went to bed, I didn't have intentions on living. And when I woke up, I wanted to live. So somewhere along the lines, the miracle happened when I did not pull the trigger, and I fell asleep and went to bed and woke up the next morning, and he was 100% in charge of that moment.
Absolutely. He really is in every moment.
Yep.
It's just a gentleman, and we have to choose to let him in. And if we don't let him in, then he's not going to crash the door down.
100%.
God, I mean, it's a silly question, but how do you see God playing a hand in your life today?
Major. I mean, I have a very, very, very deep belief in God. I have a very profound testimony. I've seen miracles happen, and I can't not have a belief in that. And he's very, very, very important to me in the sense that I have a very deep relationship with him and in him in my life. And it's something that I talk about frequently. It's something that I'm very connected to and very open with. And, I mean, it's a really cool experience to know that he woke me up today for me to go live. And as long as he continues to do that, I'm just going to maximize every second that I can to honor the gift of waking up every day.
Absolutely. You take life by hand, you take your relationships by hand, and you take building your life by hand. And
yeah.
Father that you never had for your kids. Now grandpa.
Yeah. Grandpa now.
How does it feel to be a grandpa now?
Feels great, man. I'm freaking shredded. I have a six pack. I'm in the best shape of my life. I'm a jacked grandpa. It's kind of a funny term. You don't think of a grandpa being shredded. So it's a cool thing. It's a cool feeling. It's a cool experience to watch my daughter become a mom. It's really awesome.
That's what needs to happen now. That should be the normal. Every grandpa should have a six pack. Every grandpa should be shredded.
Yeah. Yeah. It's definitely possible. That's for sure.
I mean, I don't have the right to talk. You do, Sean. I'm 25 years old, but I sure as hell don't want to get into my 40s, 50s, 60s and not be able to go on a hike with my grandkid because it was not to work out.
100%.
So the guys that we're talking to right now, listening, young entrepreneurs looking to build the success that you truthfully have now, Sean, maybe in a different way, obviously, but looking to remain authentic. If you had any takeaways from your own personal experience on building your authentic self and building your success today, what are a couple of key pointers that they can take from you and implement into their own lives?
First things first, build a life. I mean, you have to make money, but I think a lot of people work so hard on building a business that they never build a life. And that was kind of one of my takeaways as I went from my 1.0 to 2.0, as I like to call it, is I realized that making money is not that hard now. I mean, if you're young now, I mean, hell, I didn't have cell phones when I was growing up. There was no internet. I mean, Mark Zuckerberg hadn't even been born yet. You know what I'm saying? So the young guys today have so much more advantage than I did back in the day. But I realized that I didn't want to chase building a business and building money. What I wanted to do is say, here's the life that I want to live. So what kind of business do I have to build or have in order to be able to live the life that I want, which is I can do anything I want, whenever I want. I can be with my kids 24/7. I can afford cool shit. And so that became my vision, is my life, not my business. And so I think that's kind of point number one, is build a life and then fit a business into it to fuel that, right? It's kind of like the rocket. Your life is the rocket. You build this rocket and then you just put the fuel in there, which is the business to take off. And then the second thing with that, when you talk about authenticity and all this other stuff, it's just tell the truth, man. If you don't like something or someone, you just say it. If you don't want to do something, you say it. If you do want to do something, you say it. If you have a feeling, a thought, an emotion, say it. Speak it. It's the most liberating, freeing thing. I get hit up all the time. I talk a lot about social media and how to build a following. I've got millions of followers and over 1 billion views of my videos, and they've all been shot on an iPhone. I don't have a single one of my videos that's ever gone viral, on a green screen and a red camera and the whole thing. They've all been with this. the difference between what I've done and what a lot of other guys do is I just fucking send it. If I have a thought, a feeling, an emotion, I just send it. I don't really care about, does this fit the narrative? Is this going to hurt my business or help my business? I just don't fucking care. And I think that's where a lot of guys go wrong is, we're trying to be like Gary Vaynerchuk, or we're trying to be like Andy Frisella or Ed Milet or Sean Whalen or this guy or that guy. Don't be like me. Don't be like any of those guys. Go be yourself. Go speak your own words. Go build your own life. Go create your own vision. Take whatever you can from me and from him to make your life better and easier. But go do your own shit. Go build your own life.
Yeah, us humans overcomplicate everything.
Yeah, for sure.
Finances, relationships, life. It's like, no, build your life.
Yep.
Put business into it and tell the truth.
100%.
My enoughness. We all have rules for life, right? Like, if I do X, Y, Z, then I'm enough. If I do X, Y, Z, then I'm happy. My enoughness comes down to, did I keep my word? Did I do my best? And did I grow?
Right.
And the truth is, if you take those three principles and you fit them into life, in business, in your relationship, you're going to be okay.
Agreed.
Like, it doesn't need to be you have to make 10 million, then you can be happy, or whatever the case is. Like, make it very simple, whatever, and execute.
Totally agree.
So you talk about being honest, right? There's a lot of people we're talking to right now where, obviously you say what it is, whether it's political, religion, the hot topics of the world where people get offended, you just say it. For somebody that's looking to get those reps and that isn't quite confident to just say whatever they want to say, what would your message be to them?
Say it anyways. How do you build biceps? By not wanting to do the curls and the lifts, or by doing them? It's that simple. If you want more confidence, do the shit that scares you. If you want to become a better public speaker, go speak in public. If you want to become a better businessman, then go do more business. It's just how it works. So it's like, if you're not confident to speak your mind, start speaking your mind. It's literally how it works. There is no recipe. There is no book. There's no magic system. That's literally the exact model that I followed to get to where I am today. Because I was timid. I was scared. And so I just started doing it. And it was hard. And then I got better. And then I got better. And I got better.
And you've definitely pissed a couple of people off along the way. And that's okay.
One or two.
That's it, though. But like you said, you don't care. Why care? Like, in reality, if you are being your authentic self, which truthfully is going to lead to your life destiny, whatever that is for you, you're going to get there.
Right.
If you take out that honest truth, because if you're not speaking your truth, you're probably not living.
Right. 100%. Totally agree.
So start speaking it, and in turn, you'll start living it. And someday they'll be able to have that confidence like yourself, where they're really able to shine.
Yep.
Not care. It's a liberating feeling not to care.
I agree. Yeah, you care, but at the same time, you don't care about, I care about what matters. I care a lot. People say, oh, 0 fucks given. No, I give a lot of fucks just about the things that are important to me.
And nobody can tell you what that is but you.
It's up to me.
And the truth is, you have to be real and honest with yourself on that, right? You can't just say, like, I don't care when you actually do.
Right.
You also can't say, I do care when you actually don't, because that's a foundational truth to living your truth and speaking your truth as well.
Totally agree.
There's oftentimes people get frustrated and say, oh, I don't care when they really do. Well, that's just a bandage over it all of it. Like, you have to see the hard truth, whatever it is, to be able to move forward.
Totally agree.
So what's next for you? Obviously, is it just building what you have now? Is there any exciting ventures that you're creating and going forward?
I've always got stuff going on, man. I'm just like, what's next for me right now is going over to my warehouse and doing some work in my warehouse with my team, and then going and working on one of my other companies. And then I got dinner with some friends tonight. Like, that's literally all I'm focused on right now.
Building what you have now, but just moving it forward in the right direction.
Yeah. Like, I have plans every day to just, daily checklist of the vision that I have. And today, that's literally what I have on my agenda, is to just do those things. I don't think about 10 years, 8 years, 2 years down the road. I'm thinking about how do I maximize the most out of today.
Do you have a process to set your goals at all, or is it just a matter of, I know this is important?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, I sit down at I do everything backwards, in the sense that I don't look at it and say, well, how am I going to do all this money for the rest of the year? I set my money target, and then I back into what do I have to do every day. So I have visions, and like I'm building a ranch right now, and I have a target date that I want to get it finished by. And so what do I have to do today to do that? Right. And so I've got big goals and big visions and building my company and this, that, and the other. But, I don't look at it and say, oh, I'm going to do $100 million in 3 years if I'm only doing 50 grand a year today. I just don't operate like that. Like, because to me, that's just, you're just saying shit just to say shit. And I don't say shit to say shit. I legitimately haven't even thought about tomorrow. Like, I don't think about next month or the end of the year or where am I at, I just look at what am I doing today. As long as I hit my targets today, I'm solid. And so I'm always pushing the envelope and leave myself a door to like adapt and move and look at new ventures and different things like that. But I'm if what's happening in my life is not propelling me towards what it is that I want, then I just don't do it. You know what I'm saying? So like right now, it's just staying on track for today and to making the best out of today.
So we talk about building life and showing up each day, right? And fitting that business into your life and not your life into your business.
Right.
Is there a process? Do you have a process of how to structure your life that these guys could start to replicate for their own lives?
Yeah. I mean, first things I would say is go get my book. It's on Amazon, How to Make Shit Happen. I have a very specific morning process. I don't do the whole wake up at 2 a.m. kind of a deal. I mean, I get up at 6:30 every morning, but I'm very intentional with my time. And I think that's what a lot of guys miss, especially young guys, is they could just get distracted with social media or this or this. They're always chasing the shiny penny, like, oh, I'm going to get into crypto. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. And you're always chasing something, where if you just set out and have a very specific reality that you do every single day, like to me, the gym every morning is non-negotiable. Reading my scriptures every morning is non-negotiable. These are things that I do every single day to set myself up, because everything else is easy. I mean, it's easy to make money. It's easy to build these things. But like when you're scattered and all over the place and chasing the shiny penny, you're always all over the place. So I feel like guys who have structure in what they do every day, not to mean that you're like 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, like I'm all over the place a lot, but the things that I need to get done because I have those things in order. You know what I'm saying? So it's like if you go hunting, I want to hunt with a rifle, not a shotgun. If there's a deer at 300 yards, I can't shoot him with a 12 gauge, but I can shoot him with a 30-06. So every single day I have targets and I just shoot at them, bang, 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 bang. And that's how I can get so much done.
Absolutely. So you mentioned not chasing the shiny objects, right? Did you ever fall into that before you learned these truths?
Oh yeah, for sure. 100%. Yeah, 100%. I think we all do. I think the older you get, the more you just realize a lot of that stuff doesn't matter. You know what I mean? But you also become look, I've got kids. I've got a grandson. I'm very specific with my time, who I spend it with, where I give it, what I do. Because truth be told, if I have an hour of my day that I don't have something planned, I'd rather be with my family. I'd rather be with my kids than dicking around or whatever. So I'm very, very intentional with my time.
That's a must.
Yeah.
Asset you can't get more of in this world.
100%.
And most people are focused on the vacation, right? Oh, I'm going to be happy when I go on the vacation. Well, your life's not about the vacation.
Yeah.
How are you going to make your life work today and every day? If you're not happy about something in your life, change it.
Right. 100%.
Because that's a big percentage of your life that you're missing out on.
Right.
We talk about these guys listening are fascinated with business. They desire to succeed. And honestly, I hope that all of them do it. But we don't get what we deserve. We get what we work for.
Right.
So we talk about fitting your business into your life. How do you make that work? Because me personally, I don't like the idea of work-life balance.
Mm-hmm.
Then you're always juggling something and it's always feels out of balance.
Yeah.
So how do you fit your business into your lifestyle?
I'll give you a really good example for this. I hate sales calls. I don't like sales calls. I don't like trying to sell people. I don't like being on the phone with somebody saying, hey, you should buy this shit for me, or you should, join my coaching group or whatever. I just don't like it. There's some dudes that love it. Cool. I don't. And so I have high ticket stuff. I mean, my one-on-one coaching starts at 6 figures a year. And so I have not had any sales calls to close anybody on that. I have not had sales calls to have the 50,000 plus people join my coaching group, the Lion's Den. So I just saw early in my career, like, I don't like to do these sales calls. I don't want to do them. So what kind of business do I have to build where I don't have to do that? And so I built that exact business. So I feel like if you're doing it doesn't mean you don't do shit that you don't like, because I have done a lot of sales calls. And that's why I got to that place where I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. So what do I have to do so that I don't have to do this? And I built a business around that. And so I feel like a lot of guys they do shit just because they feel like they have to, and they've never really looked at it and said, well, is there a better way of doing this? You know what I'm saying? And so I built a group, and I built a coaching program that allowed me to not have to talk to anybody, and everything's automated, everything's online. The entire sales process happens without me ever even talking to anybody. And it's allowed me to make millions of dollars. So that's, to me, where you're like, once you map that out and decide what it is that you want to do, what you don't want to do, then you just put that in action and go, and that's it.
Yeah, what you just said there, I'm reading the 4-Hour Workweek right now, the rebound version. Have you ever read that book?
I haven't. I've read cliff notes of it.
That's fair. Sometimes cliff notes is all you need, honestly.
Yeah.
But as I'm reading it, you essentially just summarize what it's talking about. 20% of your behaviors lead to 80% of your unhappiness or your happiness. So figure out what you don't like, cut it out, because that's probably the 80% that you're more focused on that's not getting you the result that you actually like more. Get down to what you actually like.
Yeah.
On that. And then
totally agree.
Lifestyle. Yeah, it's all about lifestyle. And like I talked about before, if you're not enjoying something in your day-to-day life, that's a bigger percentage of your life than a vacation ever will be.
I agree.
Listening to this, really look at your life. What are you fulfilled with? Because that's ultimately what we also want to change. Isn't necessarily happiness or motivation, because that's fleeting.
Right.
Happiness and motivation will come and go.
I get really motivated. I get really fulfilled with accomplishing things and doing things that I really enjoy doing. My kids, watching them succeed, watching them grow, realizing that that's literally the fruit of, by your fruits you shall know them. Watching my people win really, really, really helps me. And I love building things. Like, I love building my ranch. I love building businesses. I love taking something from nothing and just building it and watching it grow. Those are the things that fulfill me the most. I don't know what retirement is. People talk about, when are you retired or done or what? I'm like, I don't know why would I stop doing what I love? I love what I do. So it's like, until I don't like it anymore, I'm just going to keep doing it. Right. So I feel like when you do shit that you like, you can make a great living at it, but at the same time, like, why would you stop doing that?
You don't like what they do, Sean, day to day. You both know that. And that's why what is retirement? It's like, why do what I love?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm assuming, because as a coach, it keeps me motivated to consistently be better for myself and others. I'm sure you have that same experience where doing what you do for a living keeps you on the track of wanting to be better.
Right.
May not be the sole purpose you're striving to be better, because you and your family are the most important, obviously. But what you put into the world makes you be better.
Right.
Naturally. So in the coaching industry, me and you both know this, the coaching world, in some people's eyes, has a bad rep. What's your hot take on the coaching industry that most people don't talk about?
To be honest with you, I don't really pay attention to it. I don't. I mean, I have my circle of friends and my circle of peers, and all of them are very successful. They're very good businessmen. They're good, family people, family men, family women. And so I don't really pay attention to it too much. I mean, I think anybody with half a brain realizes if you're hiring a life coach who's 20 years old, you're just an idiot. I mean, you're a fucking idiot. How much life do you have at 20 years old? Well, that's fine. If you want to hire him, fire him. Like, I don't really give a shit. If a 20-year-old wants to be a life coach, go be a fucking life coach. I don't really care. I really don't care that much about, I mean, let me say this very, very plainly. I don't really care that much about other people. Right. And you can snip that up and somebody's going to chop it up and say, look at Sean, he doesn't care. Oh, I care deeply about other people, but like, I don't put my time and my energy and my intention into things like this. Like, I don't care what other people are mad about. Like, I don't pay attention to the news, really. I don't really. Did you hear about this? No, I didn't, because I'm doing my own thing. I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I don't think very many people understand that mindset where, you know, well, everybody's doing this. I don't really care what everybody's doing. I don't give a shit. So for me, if you're mad about in an industry in general, like the real question is, well, why are you mad at it? Well, there shouldn't be 20-year-old life coaches. Why? Because you said so? It's some fucking kid is 20 years old and wants to be a life coach and has somebody else who wants to pay him. Who gives a fuck? Like, legit, who cares? Who am I to say it's bad or it's right or it's wrong? I really, truly don't give a shit. I don't pay attention to it. I've got a multi-million-dollar coaching business that I built. It's very successful. It has literally tens of thousands of clients that have done very well with me. I've proven it over 10 years. I don't really give a shit what everybody else is doing or what everybody thinks about it. You know what I mean?
That's the truth. And you're most qualified to help the person that was you yesterday.
Yeah, for sure.
The 20-year-old, 25-year-old, 30-year-old may not be able to help the 60-year-old, the 50-year-old, the 40-year-old.
Yeah.
But they sure as hell can help the person.
Let me say something else to this though. If you're the type of person who wants to tell somebody else what they should or shouldn't do, you're a fucking idiot. Like, you need to stay in your own lane. Look at someone successful. They really don't give a shit about a lot of other things than what makes them successful. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I know very, very, very wealthy people who really don't give a shit about the coaching industry. I know other coaches that don't give a shit about the coaching industry that are very successful. So it should say something to you. If you're someone who's trying to say, well, they should, and he should, and they should, and they should, and it should, fuck off. Fuck off. Like, stay in your own lane until you literally are so consumed with what you're doing, nothing else matters. And newsflash, I'd be willing to bet, I'm a betting man, I'd be willing to bet you a dozen donuts. Anybody out there who's shitting on the coaching industry isn't a coach and isn't making millions of dollars.
Because they're more focused on what other people shouldn't be doing other than what they should be doing.
Point proven.
Amen to that, Sean. Well, I have as we come to a close here, I have a couple quick questions for you. First, if you had one more message for my audience today, what would that be?
Tell the truth. Tell the fucking truth.
And I'm sure this will connect to this, and maybe not, but what is your definition of an authentic life?
Are you happy with yourself? Can you look at yourself in the mirror and love what the fuck you see?
And follow-up question to that is, what if they're not? Like, what if somebody listening to this actually goes in the mirror right now, looks at themselves, and asks that question, am I happy? And it's immediately like, no, you don't have a six-pack. Your relationship shit. You're not happy with your day-to-day life. What would your advice be to that person?
Change. Fucking change. If you're a fat piece of shit, change. If you don't like the people you're hanging out with, stop hanging out with them. If you don't like being broke, stop wasting your time watching TV and go not be broke. Everybody's got excuses. Oh, my mom, my dad, fuck off, dude. Fuck off. You literally are living in a day and age where you have a supercomputer in your pocket. There's no excuse to be fat. There's no excuse to be broke. There's no excuse for any of it. If you don't like where you are, change. And the only person responsible for that change is you. You can't blame your mom or your dad or your pastor or your boss or your podcast you listen to. Fuck off. Literally get your ass up and go change. That's it.
Absolutely. You're talking to me 2 years ago, Sean. 2 years ago, that was me looking in the mirror. I'm like, piece of shit. And the truth is, I was negotiating with myself. I got to the point because I was negotiating with myself.
Yeah.
When I didn't have a six pack, I would look at myself. No, it's kind of there. No, it's not.
Yeah.
Like, be real with yourself. Do you have what you want or not? And since I had that conversation with myself, and I would encourage all you listening to listen to Sean's advice, be real. Like, actually say it how it is, whether it makes you feel good or not. Because of that conversation I had with myself, in 6 months, I lost 30 pounds. Just change. It really is that simple.
Yep.
How can me and my audience be supporting you, Sean?
Just go win. Go win. I don't need anything from anybody. Just want you to go win. The best thing you can do for me, for the world, is just go fucking win.
I appreciate that, man. Well, I know you say you don't need anything, but my book launched today.
Awesome. Congrats, man.
I appreciate that. I have this book when we meet in person next.
Perfect.
This book's for you.
Awesome. Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Appreciate y'all listening today. Have a good rest of your day.
Thanks again for listening to the Journey to Authenticity podcast. If you liked what both myself and Sean had to say today, be sure to subscribe and leave a review. This helps me to get the most interesting and qualified guests to ensure that you get the transformation that you need to ultimately become your authentic self and create a life that you deserve. Also, why I have you here today as we're shooting this, my book, The Code of Transformation. Let me grab it for you. The Code of Transformation launched. What most people don't realize until I tell them or they read the book is that this is the 7 steps that I took to transform my life many years ago. And in turn, it's in this book so that you can truly transform your life as well. With that in mind, have a good rest of your day, everybody. Go grab your copy today.